Today we're going to be taking a look at the three Golem movies, one from 1915, 1917, and the most famous 1920 version. The Golem was a monster from Jewish folklore. Unfortunately, the first two films from 1915 and 1917 no longer exist. All that remains from the 1915 version is about 4 minutes of footage. Here we see a crowd of people running away from the Golem, who's going on a killing spree because the love of his life won't take him back. There are some sources which say that a print of this film has been discovered by a private collector in 1958. But I can't confirm it, and there's no place I found where you can buy it on DVD. So it's my guess that they're talking about the 4 minutes of scrap that you're seeing right now, and not the whole movie, which was about 60 minutes long. Now, the second one from 1917, called The Golem and the Dancing Girl, was a comedy parodying the original, kinda like the second Gremlins movie. The film is supposedly 100% lost, though SilentEra.com reports that a print may exist in an Eastern European film archive. Even if we only get a 3-minute fragment like the 1915 version, it'd still be pretty interesting to see. And at last, there's the 1920 version, which was a prequel to the original, which misleads many into thinking that it's the first. In this film, we see a rabbi creating the Golem out of clay to protect the people of Prague from persecution. But the Golem rebels and goes on a rampage. The movie was released the same year as The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and was a major example in the film movement called German Expressionism. Paul Wegener, who's the same guy who worked on The Student of Prague, which is where the Golem takes place, wrote, directed, and starred in all three Golem movies. That's really confusing, and it's easy to assume that it's all the same film. Paul Wegener does a very good job portraying the Golem. The cinematography brings you into the surreal, dreamlike atmosphere. This version of the Golem also had a huge influence on the 1931 Universal Studios version of Frankenstein. This is probably the first horror trilogy, but unfortunately that trilogy no longer exists. Hopefully someone can find these lost Golem movies, and that they won't always stay lost forever. As for the 1920 version, it's no doubt a classic film, any way you look at it, so definitely check it out.